Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to my channel Live Naturally. In the last video we have discussed the types of reproduction. That was our part 1 and today we will be discussing about the topic sexual reproduction. That will be our part 2 of the chapter reproduction in organisms. So we will discuss sexual reproduction. Basically, sexual reproduction involves male and female gamete, and it fuse to form male and female gamete fuse to form an offspring. Mainly, it is sexual reproduction. It was simple definition by NCERT. We have one more definition, that is, it is the development of an individual through the fusion and formation of male and female gamete. Through the formation and fusion of male and female gamete, either by the same individual or by different individual. Same or different. Same in the sense what? Earthworm, we have example. Earthworm have both the sexes, male and female. So, and different, it means the human. Human have either male or female, one sex. So, what is sexual reproduction? It is the development of an individual through the fusion and formation of male and female gamete, either by the same individual or by the different individual. It is known as sexual reproduction. Now, what are the basic features of sexual reproduction? Basic features. First one, mostly it is biparental. Biparental, what does it mean? Two parents are involved, male and female. It involves fusion and formation of gametes. Third point, as I explained, there will be fusion of male and female gamete for the formation of an offspring. And after the fusion, what will happen? Fertilization will take place. Fertilization will occur. Fourth one, meiotic division occur, and as it is major happens in sexual reproduction. Also, syngamy occur. What is syngamy? Syngamy means both meiotic and mitotic. Both meiotic and mitotic division takes place at a time. So it is syngamy. Fifth one is the offspring, that is the individual. Offspring will not be identical to their parents. Means maybe girl child, maybe boy child. He or she will not be identical to their parents, either of the parents. So, offspring will not be same or identical to their Why? Why it happens? Because here two parents are involved, male and female. Because of the fusion, variation will occur. Due to the variation, there will be not identical offspring. Identical offspring is seen in the asexual reproduction, as I told in the part 1. So let's move on to the phases of reproduction. Now the phases of life cycle. Phases in life cycle. In the first part, as I told, there are 5 phases: birth, juvenile, reproductive, and senescent, and death. Here we will discuss 3 in detail. So, juvenile phase, or it is also known as vegetative phase. Reproductive phase, and the last is senescent phase. Before juvenile phase there was birth. So after birth there will be juvenile phase. Juvenile phase, what is mean? It is the growth of an individual from birth to of an individual to reproductive maturity. Juvenile phase, it is the growth of an individual from birth of an individual to the reproductive maturity. It is known as juvenile phase. In plants, this juvenile phase is known as vegetative phase. After vegetative phase or juvenile phase, we have reproductive phase. In the reproductive phase is the end of juvenile phase marks the beginning of reproductive phase. So, end of juvenile phase marks the beginning of reproductive phase. In this, it is the period of maturity, where organism is capable of reproduce sexually. In this phase, reproductive organs develop and mature and will be active during this phase. So, what I said, it is the end of juvenile phase which marks the beginning of reproductive phase, and reproductive phase is the period of maturity where the organism is capable of reproduce sexually. An organism, in this the organism's reproductive organs start maturing and developing, and it will be active during this phase. So, after this we have some phenomena. Which phenomena? For example, if we talk about plants or trees, there are some plants which show flowering in every season, and there are some plants which show flowering once in year or once in any season. That is, it shows flowering in winter, then it will show again in next winter. So like this, there are so many phenomena. Like this, there are some unusual phenomena. In your NCERT book it is given. First one is bamboo plant. Second one is Strobilanthes kunthiana. If I talk about bamboo plant, it shows flowering once in its lifetime. Actually, it shows flowering once in 500 years. So it is almost negligible. So we say it is that it shows flowering once in its lifetime. Okay. Then second example in your NCERT book is this given. It is Strobilanthes kunthiana, which is also known as Neela Kuranji. It shows flowering once in 12 years. After every 12 years, it shows flower. So this is the flower. What is mean? If there is flower, means it is in the reproductive phase. In reproductive phase only plant can show or plant can flower. So it is the example of reproductive phenomena. Bamboo plant, Strobilanthes kunthiana. It shows flowering in once in 500 years, which is almost negligible. And Strobilanthes kunthiana, which is Neela Kuranji, it shows flowering in once in 12 years. So it is the unusual phenomena which is given in your NCERT textbook. Now we will talk about the cycles. Now, reproductive cycle, which is again consists of menstrual cycle and estrous cycle. Menstrual cycle, it is the rise and fall of hormones. For example, it occurs in monkeys, apes, humans. Then again, menstrual cycle has 4 phases. What are they? Menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase, and luteal phase. Menstrual phase. In the menstrual phase, the blood flows So, menstrual phase, the blood flows in the last few days of menstrual cycle and the broken endometrium is out or released during the menstruation. So, broken endometrium, what does it mean? it is one of the star of female reproductive system. It is one of the star of female reproductive system which plays key role in the menstrual cycle and in the pregnancy and in the menstrual cycle. It plays a major role. Then the second one is follicular phase. Follicular phase, it is in this phase, follicular phase, it involves the maturation of ovarian follicle to prepare one of the follicle to release during ovulation. Why one of the follicle? Because only one follicle can fuse with this sperm. So only one follicle can be prepared. Every follicle is preparing, but only one follicle will be prepared at the end. It involves the maturation of ovarian follicle to prepare one of the follicle to release during ovulation. It will be released. Which follicle will be prepared? That will be released during the ovulation for the fusion. One more point, estrogen. In the follicular phase, estrogen causes the lining of the uterus to grow in this phase. So it is growing, so it is also known as proliferative phase. Now next one is ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase. In the ovulatory phase, ovulation is the time when an dominant follicle as I said in the second phase that only one follicle will be prepared for the release during the ovulatory phase. So in this, ovulation is the time when a dominant follicle or the follicle which was the winner of the race within the ovary. Ovulation is the time when a dominant follicle or winner of the race within the ovary releases egg into the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube, egg is released where it can get fertilized with the sperm. Here it can get fertilized with the sperm, and it is the only phase where a woman can get pregnant. And it is the only phase where women does not allow copulation. Does not allow. Here, no pregnancy can occur. And pregnancy can occur only in the ovulatory phase. And the last one is luteal phase, which is also known as secretory phase. It is the last phase of the menstrual cycle, which is luteal phase. It begins with the formation of corpus luteum and ends in the either pregnancy or luteolysis. What is luteal phase? Luteal phase is also known as secretory phase, and it begins with the formation of corpus luteum and ends at the end of pregnancy or in the luteolysis. So, what is luteolysis? Luteolysis, I tell. luteolysis. It is the functional and structural degradation of corpus luteum at the end of luteal phase. So luteolysis is the functional and structural degradation of the corpus luteum at the end of luteal phase. This luteolysis. And luteolysis occur in the absence of pregnancy. In the absence of pregnancy, only luteolysis can occur. Then comes the next cycle, that is estrous cycle. It occurs in non-primates. For example, cow, dog, sheep, tiger, etc. In this, these are non-primates. In this, estrous cycle occurs. If I talk about cow, cow has short period of estrus. Short period of estrus. Estrus means heat. That is 12 to 24 hours. Only 12 to 24 hours of estrus or heat cow has. Now the last thing which is remaining is the senescent phase. Till here we have completed juvenile or vegetative phase, reproductive phase. Now we will come to the senescent phase. Senescent phase. Two phases we have already discussed, juvenile and reproductive phase, and the last one is senescent phase. In this, what is senescent phase? Senescent phase, it is the period of functional and structural degeneration of the body by the accumulation of waste. So senescent phase is the structural and functional degeneration of the body by the accumulation of waste, which ultimately leads to death. Or we can say it is the period between maturity and death, in which functional part of body will degenerate and leads to death. It is the senescent phase. So I hope you understood it well. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. And we have completed here our part 2. In the next part, that is our part 3, we will discuss some more important points about the reproductive phase and some terms related to reproductive sexuality in organisms. This we will discuss in the next part. Till that, keep revising.